You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
We continue to follow Michael's track as it heads toward the Carolinas now. Weakened to a tropical storm with miles of 60-mile-per-hour winds.
Plus, overnight, the death toll from Michael has now increased to 2.
Thousands of people across Georgia without power this morning as Michael brings down trees on power lines. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning, 5 o'clock early risers. Glad you're with us. It's October the 11th. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jess Dowdrick. Obviously, the story of the day is Hurricane Michael. Let's head right over to meteorologist John Scalzi. John, how did the storm do? Was it as predicted?
Well, we got very lucky, I will say that. I mean, just an amazing, fortunate situation for us compared to what they saw on the Panhandle, of course. Almost 2 miles per hour shy of a Category 5 storm. Just a tremendous deepening and strengthening of the storm before it made landfall. Now moving through the Carolinas as we head into the afternoon as a tropical storm producing a lot of rainfall. For us, just some residual cloud cover. Things much improved today. Michael, 50-mile-an-hour storm continues to drift off toward the Carolinas. It'll be exiting into the Atlantic by Friday, and then check it out. As we head into next week, it'll be on its way to Europe still as a fairly formidable subtropical storm or a transitional storm, an extratropical storm. We still have some showers down to the south, but around our area we don't have a chance for much more than a few scattered showers today. As we start to filter in some drier, less humid air, we'll be enjoying a nice couple of days over the next several days. Today, about a 30% chance of rain with a daytime high in the upper 80s. Complete forecast in a second.
All right, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. We've got a live shot first off from the FPL Service Center. This is in Sarasota. Number of trucks were staging yesterday at the Sarasota County Fairgrounds. And this is the situation there as well now. 1,350 utility linemen are heading north to help out. And this is the crew that's still waiting for their assignment. Perhaps they'll be leaving soon. We'll track their progress throughout the morning here on Good Morning Suncoast. The issue there way up on Anna Maria Island, you'll see there Marina Drive flooding from 66th Street to Gulf Drive. So some residual effects from yesterday's big storm. Be aware of that in case you're way up there in northwest Manatee County along the barrier islands. Otherwise, all clear in Manatee County. Farther south, we'll check the northern half of Sarasota County. Nothing much to speak of so far right now. And then farther south, our final map to the South County region. That will reveal nothing right now. We'll check back in 15 minutes. Well, Michael has weakened now to a tropical storm with sustained winds down to 70 miles per hour. Thousands are left, though, without power throughout Florida and Georgia. The death toll rose overnight. Another child has passed away, this time in southwest Georgia, making it a total of 2 deaths, both children.
We know that the second death was an 11-year-old girl who died after a mobile carport was picked up by the wind and crashed through the roof, which hit the girl on her head in southwest Georgia. Let's go straight to ABC 7's Marla Spence, who is live in the newsroom to tell us more about the damage across Georgia. Marla.
Hey, Ray and Jess, plans for cleanup efforts are now underway in southern Georgia. The hurricane hitting the state as a Category 3 hurricane. Now look at this video. This is video from Cuthbert, Georgia. As you can see, awnings from the building was ripped straight off the roof from this building from heavy winds and also rains. Also, several buildings are damaged in Georgia, including this one in Crawford County. Now, other damaged buildings, several downed trees and power lines are all damaged in several parts of Georgia. At least 2 people have died from the monster storm. Right now, hundreds of thousands of people are without power, and it could take weeks before lights come back on. Now, counties in Georgia are still under a curfew due to those weather conditions. Some counties lifting those curfews as early as 7 o'clock this morning. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Marla. Help from places as far as southern Arizona has already reached the southeast. 2 Red Cross volunteers left for Florida yesterday morning. One of them says she had a decades-long career as a trauma nurse starting in the Vietnam War. Artist Waite says it's her 3rd time heading out to a natural disaster this year, something she says helps her feel fulfilled.
It's fun. It's rewarding. You meet a lot of new and interesting people, and something that I think everybody would enjoy.
And local Red Cross crews will be leaving from the headquarters here in Sarasota this morning. Around 8:45, the crews will be heading to the Panhandle to help those that lost everything. Manatee County is now offering help to the Panhandle. Last night, Manatee County Public Safety deployed its strike teams. The emergency crews will be going to Bay County. That includes Panama City, which was hit especially hard by Michael.
One way you can help Hurricane Michael victims is to donate blood. In fact, blood banks that were affected by the storm can't accept donations right now, and it could be days before they reopen. Those blood banks are relying on donors from outside the area. The Suncoast Blood Bank is asking people to donate blood and platelets, especially those with O negative and O positive blood types, which will be in high demand.
As we learn more about the damage Hurricane Michael is causing to parts of the Panhandle, one evacuee of North Florida tells us traveling to Sarasota may have been the right thing to do. Ron Belcher has lived in Florida for most of his life, going through Hurricane Andrew in 1992. He also had to evacuate Hurricane Irma last year while living in the Florida Keys. Now he lives in Walton County, which is about 50 miles west of Pensacola. He evacuated a few days ago and is now staying with a friend in Sarasota.
Last time I left Irma, I didn't pack everything, and by the time I got back, everything was ruined, so I had to start over. This time when I evacuated, I grabbed everything, so even if I go back and there's structural damage, at least my personal belongings will be safe this time because they're with me and not like I left them behind in Irma.
Belcher says he was debating whether or not to ride this one out, but his gut instinct and the fact that he's been through this before ultimately led to his decision.
Hurricane Michael also caused some problems on Longboat Key yesterday. Streets on the northern part of the Key have seen quite a bit of floodwater. Look at that video there. This has been a common sight on parts of Longboat Key over the past 2 days. Cars driving through floodwater or people trudging through the puddles just to get their mail. The storm surge from the hurricane combined with high tide. The floodwater was at least 2 feet deep in some places.
You are kind of trapped, for non-emergency kinds of things.
At the peak of the water level here yesterday, we had our people in here assessing where the highest points were and so forth. But it didn't get too high to respond yesterday, and today obviously we're in much better shape.
Town officials will continue to keep a close eye on the upcoming high tides.
A no swim advisory is now in effect at several Sarasota County beaches. The advisory includes all of the beaches listed on your screen, including Longboat Key, North and South Lido, and Venice Pier. This is due to the amount of bacteria in the water. Despite the advisory, people were spotted surfing in the water at Lido Beach during this advisory yesterday. Remember, the beaches are still open, but swimming is not recommended.
All right, the storm may have also uncovered a hidden historic jewel at the Lido Beach Pavilion, the former casino. Erosion from Hurricane Michael has now revealed slabs of concrete showing a tiled floor. You see a little aqua blue there? The beach there got its name because it used to be the location of a casino that was built by John Ring, and there it is. In fact, the city tore it down back in 1969. At the time, it was considered the centerpiece of the area. Now some erosion unveiled some of that former tile. Very cool story. 5:08, still ahead. Good morning, Suncoast. The search continues for this man. Northport police say he stole a car.
And coming up a little later in the hour, we're learning more about the woman who got kicked off of a flight in Orlando, the animal she claims to be her emotional support buddy.
5:08 right now on your Thursday morning. A beautiful shot there of the downtown skyline. As far as this morning's drive time forecast, here's John Scalzi.
Yeah, Ray, we're transitioning to a pretty nice day, I think. Not to say we won't see any showers around. We may see an isolated shower or two as we head through the morning into the afternoon, but I'm not checking the boxes because it won't be widespread and it won't be all that terribly heavy. 80s as you head out to work, humid, kind of sticky on the way home, clearing and a little less humid. Beautiful days ahead. We'll talk about that in a second.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Blue 32! Blue 32! Hot, hot!
It's the Gettle Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gettle dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gettle location near you or visit Gettle.com. Gettle's got it.
Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American Car of the Year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, well, it certainly is muggy out there. That wind off Gulf waters yesterday, brisk as it was, really brought in the moisture. And in the last hour, we had a dew point value of 80. You never see it quite that high, even in summertime. So just tremendous amounts of moisture in the air. Now, the dew point value currently is at 79, which is still significantly warm and making it feel really sticky out there. 81 degrees the air temperature, and with that kind of dew point, the feels like temperature at this hour is almost 90 degrees, believe that or not. West-southwest wind about half the speed as it was yesterday. The winds are not going to be a big issue today, but they will still create issues with high surf and rip currents and such as that. So water sports, again, use some real caution out there this morning and afternoon as well. Tomorrow things will really start to settle down just a little bit. 7 a.m. temperature comes in at about 80 degrees with a 20% chance of showers. We've got some in progress now, and as we head through the afternoon, look for about a 30% chance of a few scattered showers around. Nothing severe, but nevertheless, there will be some periods of downpours, but there'll be fast movers once again today. The heaviest of the rain showers located down to the south, but locally we've got a few that are producing some moderate and in some cases some heavy rainfall in Myakka State Park. We've got some scattered showers from about Upper Longboat Key through Holmes Beach into Anna Maria, and then down to the south, Northport seeing some showers. Those are all rapidly moving to the east, and total accumulations will not be all that great. As we take a look in the deep south, though, there's still some very heavy rain falling in South Carolina with some wind gusts here that are coming up around 50 miles per hour or better in and around the circulation of Michael, which is now a tropical storm. It's moving up toward the Carolinas and will produce more heavy rainfall there, and that will be the case this afternoon. Columbus, anywhere around Orangeburg, Greenwood, seeing some very heavy rain falling. There's a frontal boundary located back to our west. The first front of the season will be moving through here as we head into the next 24 hours. Behind it, high pressure builds in. This front will act to kind of kick out, Michael, into the open waters of the Atlantic, where it will start the process of becoming extratropical or transitioning into a non-tropical system. The front moves through here as we head into tonight through tomorrow. Our winds shift to the north and some nice drier air starts to filter in. Not necessarily all that cooler, but what happens with drier air is that when the heating of the day goes away, it allows those nighttime temperatures to fall a little bit more. So daytime highs will still be warm, but they won't be as humid, and then nighttime lows will actually be a little bit cooler. That's where we notice fall first here in Florida, is with our nighttime lows as drier air filters in. But humid today, a few early showers probably through the first half of the day, and then sunny and less humid on Friday. It should be a beautiful day tomorrow. Maybe a few thunderstorms around, can't rule that out. Right now the thunderstorm activity is mostly to the south, but there is the threat of some severe weather along the Carolina coast today. For us, just standard thunderstorm kind of stuff according to the Severe Storm Prediction Center. Winds are still going to be elevated through the Carolinas over the course of the next 24 hours. Tropical storm force winds there are certain and they're in progress now as we head through the afternoon. West wind at about 5 to 10 this afternoon, kind of settling down nicely, bringing you a moderate chop. It'll take a little while longer for those seas to come down, 4 to 6 foot seas. And the forecast for the week ahead is pretty nice. Over the course of the next several days, drier air filters in, mostly sunny skies, temperatures at night in the 60s, and then the humidity comes right back next work week. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at first alert traffic this morning. We start in Manatee County. There's still some flooding that we're experiencing up on Anna Maria Island near the 66th Street to Gulf Drive area. Besides that, things seem to be running pretty smoothly in Manatee County as we head south to Sarasota County. Looks like all clear there. I-75, US 301, 41, Fruitville Road, all of the major roadways. Things seem to be running smoothly on those. And we head down south to South County, and it's all clear there at 517 on your Thursday morning.
Speaking of South County, Northport police asking for your help this morning. They're trying to find this man who they say broke into a car at a CVS in Northport. They say he took a wallet and several credit cards. They were then used at a Walmart an hour later. If you recognize the man in this picture, you're asked to contact Northport Police.
In today's Health Smart, a habit that kids are picking up at a younger and younger age, vaping. It's got some school districts looking for ways to help. Vaping hit the market as a way to help smokers quit cigarettes, but lately it's becoming more targeted to the younger generation. And because you only have to be 18 to purchase e-cigarettes in most places, they keep finding their ways into high schools.
It isn't safe. It's safer than cigarettes, but that doesn't make them safe. We don't know what sorts of chemicals are in them, and we do know that even though there are over 7,000 different flavors of the vaping juices, almost all of them are candy and fruit flavored, really things to entice kids, and almost every single one of them includes nicotine, and that's the addictive component in tobacco.
Perry has already been ordering materials and information on vaping and hopes to start sharing and presenting some schools with this information starting in Arizona as soon as possible.
Well, the holiday forecast is already in. No, not for the weather, but for how much you might spend on shopping. As reporter Kim Hutcherson tells us, all signs are in place for more spending this holiday season.
How much money do you plan to spend this gifting season? If it's more than last year, you're not alone. The National Retail Federation is projecting more jingle at cash registers this holiday season. According to the NRF, this November and December, holiday retail sales will increase between 4.3 to 4.8% over last year. That translates to as much as $721 billion more. The number excludes cars, gas, and restaurant sales. The NRF says its 2018 forecast is higher than the average annual increase of 3.9% over the past 5 years. Analysts say strong employment, higher wages, and an overall healthier economy are contributing to more spending. The NRF looks at consumer credit, disposable personal income, and previous monthly retail sales to gauge expectations. We're still in October, so now might be a good time to plan a budget for all those gifts. For Consumer Watch, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
And this holiday forecast includes online shopping as well. Some stores are wasting no time out there right now.
I cannot believe it. It isn't even Halloween yet, so I can't even think about holiday shopping yet.
I know. What did you see yesterday?
I was at the dollar store yesterday. They already have Christmas stuff out right next to the Halloween stuff. I'm not prepared.
Not yet. 5:20 right now.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Fortnite's new update offers players the chance to take over dance floors with their moves. That story in today's Tech Bites.
And next half hour, more video of some of the damage that Hurricane Michael caused in the Florida Panhandle and southwest Georgia.
Now we're taking a look outside at the city of Sarasota. It's 5:20 on this Thursday morning.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Tanya, come here.
Learning the right steps.
2, 3, 4.
Or making contact. It's not just about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about making the connection. It's about proving every kid and teen who enters our doors has what it takes. Great futures start here.
Watch Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7. Premieres September 8th.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
It's a story that's going viral on social media, and this morning we have a clearer idea of why a woman with an emotional support squirrel held up a flight to Cleveland. The woman was flying from Orlando with her pet squirrel Daisy when she was ordered off of the plane. This video of Cindy Torek being escorted out of the terminal has now gone viral. Here's the issue. Frontier Airlines has a policy against rodents, including squirrels, on its planes. Now Torek is staying with her daughter, who is explaining why this squirrel is so important to her mom.
Daisy helps keep her calm, her anxiety down. She relieves a lot of stress and anxiety and depression.
The family says they aren't done fighting this and plan on working with the American Disabilities Act to see what rights they have with Daisy. I wonder where she got the squirrel from to begin with.
I guess
Outside?
The backyard.
Maybe.
Certainly two sides to that story, but I wouldn't want a squirrel loose on an airplane.
No, and I guess I'm curious as to how it interacts with people. If she uses it to calm her anxiety, I'm sure it's great with people.
Exactly.
Apple is apparently planning some big giveaways as part of its new digital TV strategy.
The story in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple working on a new digital video service. It'll feature original shows and programming from traditional media companies.
Apple device owners will reportedly get the Apple-owned material for free through a new app. Apple is hoping the idea goes over better than when it gave away a U2 album for free to everyone, which sparked backlash. Well, Facebook is launching an update to its life event category to mark National Coming Out Day.
Users can now tap relationships, then the new Came Out feature to share their stories about that critical moment in their lives. And finally, Fortnite's newest update includes the equivalent of a dance battle.
Right, instead of fighting your way around the game, players must clear enemies off the dance floor, then dance their way to victory against another team. Bring your best moves.
A whole lot of boogieing going in Fortnite. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Lyrica.
Your mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist move to another treatment, ask if Xeljanz XR is right for you. Xeljanz XR is a once-daily pill for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well enough. It can reduce pain, swelling, and further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Xeljanz XR can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, and other cancers have happened. Don't start Xeljanz XR if you have an infection, tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz XR and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Don't let another morning go by without talking to your rheumatologist about Xeljanz XR.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our nation's youth. We believe veterans earn their benefits through their service to our nation. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion, and we believe it makes a difference. If you believe, learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Weak but still a deadly storm. All eyes are on Tropical Storm Michael as it continues to make its way across Georgia.
Thousands of residents in the Panhandle in Georgia are waking up this morning without power, but help is on the way from utility crews that staged in Sarasota. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. It's October 11th. I'm Jess Dowdrick.
I'm Ray Collins. I'm sure you're happy to be back inside today.
It was a little wet out there yesterday, a little windy later in the day. It feels a lot better in here.
Yeah, nice job out there.
Thank you so much.
I didn't envy you out there in the elements. Let's get the forecast now from another guy who worked hard yesterday, John Scalzi.
Yeah, a significantly different day today, and tomorrow will be a tremendously different day as we get a little taste of fall. A weakening Michael moving through parts of Georgia, now on its way to South Carolina, North Carolina. Still has significant wind speeds up at about 50 miles per hour and producing a lot of rainfall. For us, it produces a little bit of cloud cover as well and an occasional shower. Maybe a thunderstorm, but the rain chance today only at about 30% and don't expect anything severe. Tropical Storm Michael is still moving very briskly northeast at about 21 miles per hour. It's spreading its rainfall through the deep south and the coastal Carolinas. It probably won't have a whole lot of total accumulations because it's moving so fast. By Friday, it exits out into the Atlantic, and guess what? It strengthens once again, but this time it's an extratropical system, kind of a marriage of a frontal boundary and the low itself, becoming significantly stronger by the time it hits the mid-Atlantic with 65-mile-an-hour winds. It's on its way to Europe, and there we'll probably see it getting close to probably the UK or Spain as we head into early next week. Titan radar showing the heaviest of the rainfall located down to our south right now, but we've got a few showers here locally. About a 30% chance of rainfall today as we hit a high of 88. It'll be a warm, muggy day, but boy, does that change tomorrow. Talk about that coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Live look now at the Sarasota County Fairgrounds, where over 1,300 utility crews have been staging. Many have left already for the Panhandle. Others remain there right now, waiting for the phone to ring. That's the scene on Fruitville Road as our camera pans the remaining trucks there at the FPL staging area. Many contractors working for FPL as well. Going to the maps right now, first alert traffic showing still an ongoing issue way up there on Anna Maria. You can almost see it there on the left-hand side of your screen if you look closely. Meantime, on the far other side of your screen, some issues on 64 in the westbound lane around Rye Road. Be aware of that in case you live in eastern Manatee County. Farther south now, here's the scene in the northern half of Sarasota. The only red we see right there is in the eastbound lane on Clark Road as you get past Beneva and start heading toward McIntosh. And then farther south, here's the scene in South County. Some early buildup there on 41 northbound as you get around Warm Mineral Springs. Well, Michael has officially weakened to a tropical storm now with sustained winds down to 50 miles per hour. Many are left without power throughout Florida and Georgia. And as ABC's Maggie Rulli tells us, the storm also killed 2 children.
This morning, the Panhandle's struggling to comprehend the devastation left behind by Hurricane Michael.
It was terrifying, honestly. There was a lot of noise.
One of the strongest hurricanes to ever hit the U.S. We're getting our first glimpse of this storm's raw power from above. Drone video of Panama City shows buildings, including a school, torn apart by the high winds.
I saw an entire home taken off of its foundation and rolled down the street. So much debris.
In Mexico City Beach, our Ginger Z saw 155-mile-per-hour winds, the storm flattening the town just below her window. We felt the eye wall come ashore in Panama City Beach.
The whistling and the wind just continues to intensify.
As David Meir witnessed its strength in nearby Panama City.
It's gonna go, it's gonna go.
You can see the roof of the hotel that we had been standing out there. That was the shelter for a Category 4 hurricane. That has now come down on those SUVs.
The storm ripped through Florida, toppling trees and knocking out power for an expected hundreds of thousands along the way.
The dumbest thing I've ever done in 77 years is to stay through a hurricane. When they say evacuate again, I'm out of here.
And Michael just keeps going. The monster storm barreling through Georgia with hurricane-force winds. The first time the state has seen a major hurricane track into it since 1898. Many areas here are under a mandatory curfew through the night, with authorities telling people now is not the time to risk your life. Now is the time to stay indoors and let first responders do their work. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Panama City Beach, Florida.
The Suncoast is also feeling the effects of Michael with winds, rain, and flooding in some areas. One area impacted, Lido Beach. Several huge sandbags were placed along the shoreline to protect the beach, but were fastly washed away from aggressive waves. Our Marla Spence joins us now in the newsroom with that story. Marla.
Hey, Jess, those sandbags were temporarily placed on Lido Beach to temporarily fix the beach erosion issue out on Lido Beach. Now take a look. These are the sandbags, also known as trap bags. Now they are placed to protect the dunes, the pavilion, and pool. But as soon as Michael's heavy winds came in, those bags were washed up. The city of Sarasota now has plans to buy more massive bags to protect Lido Beach. The city spent $30,000 for the first set of massive sandbags to protect the beach, but they were washed out as of Wednesday morning. Now, when Hurricane Michael came ashore, the city says the sandbags will now need to be replaced before the next big storm. Although 500 tons of protection were crushed by the waves, the city says the bags did their job.
We've got a double line of protection, so we've trucked in 500 tons for the front line of sandbags, and we've got another 500 tons behind it. So that's 1,000 tons of sand. Nothing compared to what we're going to do when we renourish it and restore, the beach as it should be in the shoreline.
And the city is waiting until mid-November to start their $6.3 million beach renourishment project. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Marla. Hurricane Michael knocked down trees and power lines in southwest Georgia. One family talked about the moments right before a tree went over a power line.
We have a lot of candles, so it's not like light's a problem. So.
Georgia Power has crews on standby and hopes to start working on getting electricity plugged back in as soon as possible.
As Tropical Storm Michael heads to the Carolinas, they are still seeing remnants of Florence wash ashore. Take a look at this. Dozens of blue button jellyfish have been seen on beaches in Topsail and Surf City, North Carolina. Richard Satterley, a professor of marine biology, says despite their nickname, they're actually not jellyfish. Their scientific name is the Porpita porpita. They're typically found in tropical and subtropical waters in the Atlantic. They do sting, but it's not powerful.
Other news now, there's a mysterious health threat reported in various states. As reporter John Lawrence tells us, a rare polio-like disease has been diagnosed in at least 6 children.
There's been a boost in cases of acute flaccid myelitis. AFM attacks the nervous system, causing limb weakness, swallowing difficulty, or slurred speech. 2-year-old Julia Payne of Illinois has been fighting it for nearly a month.
She went in for an x-ray and couldn't hold her head up by herself anymore, which was very strange.
On Wednesday, Julia was released to rehab treatment. And although the future is still uncertain, Julia's parents say she's showing signs of improvement. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says 38 cases of AFM have been reported through September this year in 16 states, including Iowa.
It's extremely scary, and just, the reality of the unknown.
Camden Stravers went from being a rambunctious 3-year-old to a child with a partially paralyzed arm and lungs so weak he needs oxygen. There's currently no cure for AFM, and officials aren't sure how it spreads or why there's been a recent uptick in cases.
So often we don't know if the paralysis will be reversible.
The CDC says there are several possible causes, including viruses, environmental toxins, and genetic disorders.
If you think something is wrong, take them to the ER and get them checked out.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
President Trump took the stage at a campaign rally last night in Pennsylvania. He was in town to try and boost support for Republican candidates in the state ahead of the midterm elections next month. Even though Democrats still aren't over the Supreme Court fight, they're now focused on the midterms, zeroing in on health care and trying to protect the Affordable Care Act.
What we really are seeing from the Trump administration and Republicans is an absolutely relentless attempt to gut protections, especially for pre-existing conditions.
Even though Democrats failed yesterday to eliminate the Trump administration's short-term health plans that don't cover pre-existing conditions, they say they will still focus on health care as we head in to the midterm elections.
President Trump has signed 2 bills into law that are aimed at informing consumers about drug prices. The measures would end the so-called gag orders that the pharmaceutical industry have placed on pharmacists, which prevent them from discussing cheaper price options with consumers. The president called the gag clauses unjust. He says more regulatory action to reduce drug prices are expected in the coming month. Now's your chance to win more than $500 million. No winner in Tuesday's Mega Millions drawing, so the jackpot is now up to an estimated $548 million. The prize has been growing for 22 consecutive drawings since July 24th. The next drawing is set for Friday, that's tomorrow, October 12th. If you take the cash option, the prize isn't over $500 million. It's only about $309 million. I mean,
Yep.
Not that much money at all, right?
Still take it. Still ahead, a streaming service celebrates a milestone, how Spotify celebrates 10 years in business. But first, peek outside.
We're taking a look over the city of Sarasota this morning. Looks beautiful now. Wasn't really the case yesterday. John, what are we expecting today?
A few scattered showers around during the morning hours. We'll call it a partly cloudy to partly sunny sky for the school bus pickup. And then for the drop-off, 88 degrees and very humid out there. But we'll start to see some clearing take place during the later afternoon hours. A 10 out of 10 chance, though, I think, of a outside recess today. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Got a few showers in progress and a very warm, muggy start to the morning with a dew point value of 79. It feels very humid out there with an 81-degree air temperature. It already feels almost 90 out there because of that humidity that's in place. West-southwest wind, still breezy at 11, but not as windy as it was. Those wind speeds will be coming down consistently throughout the afternoon. We'll watch a temperature that hovers around the 80-degree mark through the morning hours, and then by afternoon gets pretty close to the 90 mark with about a 30% chance of showers and a thunderstorm or two out there as well. As we head into the second half of the afternoon, though, some drier air will start to filter in, and I think we'll be looking at a very nice day tomorrow. Heaviest rainfall down to the south of us, but we do have some showers here locally. Some of those showers producing some pretty good rainfall, actually, around Upper Longboat Key into areas of Holmes Beach. We're seeing some showers moving through that are producing some moderate rainfall there. Those are headed toward Bayshore Gardens, and in about 15 minutes, Bayshore Gardens, you're going to get kind of a persistent moderate rainfall for about a half an hour or so. These storms are moving pretty quickly, but this is a long line of individual little cells that are moving in that same direction. Then down to the south, just to the north of Warm Mineral Springs along the bend in 75, we've got one area of some moderate to heavy rainfall that's again quickly moving toward the east. None of these look severe. We are watching, of course, still Michael, a tropical storm producing some gusty winds and some fairly heavy rainfall, but it too is moving very quickly as a forward speed of 21 miles per hour. So at that speed, it's very difficult for it to maintain its integrity, and it'll continue to weaken through the day as it moves into the Carolinas. However, there's a cold front back to the west of it, and it will eventually start to morph into a very strong cyclone out in the Atlantic waters. We are watching the circulation kind of expanding here, and Columbus seeing some fairly heavy rainfall moving in through there right now. Florence about to see some fairly heavy rainfall. So that storm system will eventually kind of co-align with this frontal boundary moving to the east, and that's when we're going to get a stronger storm out in the Atlantic. But for us, it means high pressure building in as this front, the first one of the season, passes through our area. It'll kind of stall out down to the south of us and eventually come back to the north as a warm front by the beginning of next week. But for at least a couple of days, we get this northwesterly wind flow that draws down some lower dew point air. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean cooler days. Our days will still be warm. But at least with that lower dew point air, with that less humid air, the days will feel more comfortable. And the nighttime temperatures, once the heating of the day goes away, will be allowed to drop a little bit more than they would otherwise. So we'll see the temperatures dip into the upper 60s, maybe even mid 60s in inland areas by Friday night into Saturday morning. Saturday morning, probably the coolest of definitely the coolest of the 2 weekend mornings. Humid today, a few showers that are in progress now, maybe a thunderstorm or two, and then sunny and less humid on Friday as that high pressure builds in our wind shift. Chance of severe weather along the Carolina coast today, but in Florida, only standard thunderstorms are forecast. We'll watch the winds be brisk throughout the morning in areas of the Carolina coast. So far, no reports of area-wide delays at the Atlanta airport, according to the FAA, but certainly I would call ahead to your carrier. The storm then moves off the Carolina coast by tomorrow. So we'll watch for the winds to subside a little bit later on today, giving west at about 5 to 10, but it'll take a little while for the wave action to subside. Moderate chop anticipated, rip current advisory, high surf advisory, and at least through mid-morning or early afternoon, we have a small craft advisory. Watch for the sunshine to come out tomorrow. Lower relative humidity, little rain chance, some cool, crisp nights. And then next week, the humidity returns. Back to you.
All right, John, fall's officially here. I'm looking forward to those lower temperatures. You're looking live at the FPL Center at Roberts Arena on Fruitville Road. Crews have already left the fairgrounds, and they're heading from all across the state heading up to the Panhandle to help restore power, including right here on the Suncoast. More crews will be leaving this morning to head up there for storm relief. Time now to get a look at first alert traffic this morning. We start in Manatee County. There are two issues that we've been watching this morning. Some flooding up on Anna Maria Island. Keep an eye out for that if you're traveling in that area. Also on Rye Road and State Road 64, some slowdowns there. It seems like we're seeing a few other issues up in Palmetto and another one near the Ellington area near I-75. As we head south into Sarasota County now, things seem to be running smoothly. I-75, US 41, 301, all clear at this hour. And we head south now to the southern part of Sarasota County. Seems to be green there for the most part. A couple issues on State Road 45 near the Warm Mineral Springs. It's 5:50 on your Thursday morning.
All right, look at this video just into our newsroom. This is video of a storm chaser driving through the eye wall of Hurricane Michael. This video was taken on Wednesday on Mexico Beach, which is not too far from Panama City in the Panhandle. And that is quite an ominous looking weather pattern right there in the sky. You don't see that too often.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 5:50 right now.
A certain streaming service is celebrating a milestone and figuring who you've been listening to the most. David Daniel has that and more in the Hollywood Minute.
I need a one dance, got a Hennessy in my hand. Spotify is 10 years old and the music streaming service has run the numbers. Drake is Spotify's most streamed artist ever, followed by Ed Sheeran, whose Shape of You is the service's most streamed song ever. The LA County coroner says Vern Troyer died by suicide, a result of alcohol intoxication. The 2'8" tall actor, who played Mini-Me in the Austin Powers movies, died at a California hospital in April. He was 49. Katy Perry is set to be honored for her humanitarian work. AMFAR, the Foundation for AIDS Research, plans to pay tribute to Perry for the singer's commitment to the fight against AIDS and other causes. She'll be lauded at a black tie event in Los Angeles on October 18th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now, the post office is now seeking the biggest ever increase in the cost of stamps. The U.S. Postal Service facing pressure to address a revenue shortfall. The Postal Service proposed raising the price from 50 cents to 55 cents, which would be a record increase. The post office is making less money each year. Stamps brought in $28 billion 3 years ago, and last year $25 billion. Going in the wrong direction for them. The White House has proposed privatizing the post office, a move that postal unions have protested. Yeah, 55-cent stamps are on the way. What do you recall stamps costing when you were younger?
To be honest with you, I didn't really send letters when I was younger. I grew up with the internet.
And there you go. All right, let's take a live shot outside our studios. There you look at a nice shot. We'll have John Scalzi's forecast and the top headlines coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Cancer doesn't run in my family. That really was the farthest thing from my mind. I've been an athlete my whole life and I work in sports, so my mindset was just, that's fight. So our stories are all unique, so whatever you're going through, ask questions, get information and be involved. Don't ignore the signs, join the fight. I'm Tony Beasley and I'm a stage 2 colorectal cancer survivor.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
One last check of the forecast now from John Scalzi.
So we're looking at 3 things on our board today. We have humid conditions with just a few showers around, some in progress right now, producing moderate to, at times, some brief periods of heavier rainfall. More sunshine around tomorrow, though, as a cold front moves through, and that'll bring us some drier air with some cool, crisp nights and warm, but at least less humid afternoons. Back to you.
All right, it's 5:56 this morning. We'll be right back with another full hour of news.